Hey everybody, this is Dr. Evans. I want to thank
Okay,
you
we're
again for
live.
tuning in to our Pic TV Spotlight. We're on all the way to Canada, and we have a young lady on today. I want to invite you to hear about, listen to. This is Nicole Scott. She is from Sweden, and we're so happy to have her on today. How you doing, Nikki? How you doing today?
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Thank you again for being on our Pic TV Spotlight today. Nikki, we want to also thank you for coming in
Yeah.
all the way from the cold area of Canada, Sweden over there. It's cold over there where you are. And we met in Clubhouse, and I was hearing so many great things about you. I had to bring you on to talk about what you
Yeah.
do. We were talking earlier about how your history. Let's talk about your education, and then we talk a little about your family. You're in fashion design and art history. Talk a little bit about your fashion design and art history background.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into that?
Well, I always loved art as a kid, and I was always creating and stuff. So, actually, in education, I want to teach kids with autism, and that was my dream. But then I switched to art history, and I loved it. It was just talking about paintings and different aspects of art, and I think art is a way to express yourself. So that's what I love about art history. And then I went into fashion design and I started designing, and it was just like something I love to do. And I love the fashion industry. Sometimes it's a little bit mean, and it's sometimes like the devil wears Prada. You get people screaming at you, but it was I really love being creative, so that's why I love art.
Wow, that's good. Um, let's talk a little bit about your family. Being from Sweden. I've never been to Sweden. I want to go there one day. Um, how is the food in Sweden? How's the food over there in Sweden?
It's okay. I mean, I'm Canadian, so like for me, like it was definitely trying different things like Swedish meatballs and Swedish, like fish. They have fish is not that great, and they have different flavors. They have herrings. They have fermented herrings, which is disgusting. Which is, if you look it up, it's not that great.
Yeah.
For me, it's been different the food in Sweden for sure, but yeah, it's something else. But I love a lot of time here, so that's the one thing that's good
Yeah, I'm excited,
about
to
Sweden.
hear, to meet you in Clubhouse and to hear about the great things that is taking place around the world. You are our first international person to be on our television network, on the Pic TV network, and to be on. So congratulations for making history from Sweden to United States to be on today. Let's talk about your dad, your dad a little bit. Let's talk about your dad. You said what his background. Talk about your father. Your father.
My father's a documentary filmmaker. Both my parents are Jewish, actually, and my mother's side are Holocaust survivors, and that's why I'm able to be Sweden because my grandfather essentially was a Polish citizen. So we were able to get Polish papers through him, but that took a long time. And my dad's a documentary filmmaker. He does a lot of stuff about Jewish stuff. He did something about Hasidic people who don't want to be more. He did Hasidic people and their relations with the French community in Montreal, and he's being on now about Native people now and their relationship with what happened when they took Native kids and they brought them to Christian schools and their conversion and their history of that.
Wow, amazing. Your dad being
So that's what my
documentarian is.
dad's doing now.
Wow, that's good. We got to get him on the network. We got to bring him on too. So he can talk to the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit, Nicole, about
He's
you
also
working
doing
on
about
the political campaign you were working on. You said
yeah,
with
I was yeah, we worked with Cutie Nails. I worked with Cutie Nails, which was a really fun campaign. And we had a collaboration with Michelle Obama's When We All Vote. And me being Canadian and not liking Trump very much, I'm sorry if anyone does, but for me, I don't like him. And so for me, and we found some different influencers, and a lot of them were very nice and wanted to work with us because like it was a lot of our campaign, or half of nail sales were going towards the campaign When We All Vote and getting everybody ready to vote. And that was a really great campaign for me because I think people really showed their heart and spirit about voting, and it's important to vote in elections, I think, because you need your voice to be heard.
Yeah, that's amazing. To see a young person like you doing some great things. And with the Pic TV network, we can't wait till you tie in to help us to bring people from Sweden to our network. And again, as we continue to
Yeah.
do build, we excited about meeting you and bringing you on the Pic TV network and to help us to reach our viewers around the world. We're excited about our connection, and again, through meeting in Clubhouse, which is an amazing opportunity to meet people everywhere. And I'm so happy for those who are watching right now. You're watching our brand new presentation that we have, the Pic TV Spotlight. We have Nikki, Nicole, all the way from Canada, who's a native of Sweden, on with us today, a young lady who we met in Clubhouse who's doing wonderful works, and we're on a partnership with her to reach people around the world. Name me a couple of your favorite hobbies, Nikki. Give me some of your favorite hobbies that you like to do.
Um, I like yoga. Not sure where Dr. Evans went, but I like yoga. I like painting, and I really love reading. That's one of my hobbies.
Wow, yeah, that's beautiful. Reading is definitely a wonderful skill that we need, all of us need. So as we continue to reach people around the world, we gotta keep reading. I'm an advocate of that. And again, those who are watching right now, we're excited to have Nicole all the way on today with us, and we're excited for all of you who are watching. This broadcast today, she's a young lady who's doing great things with her parents being Jewish background. Talk a little bit about your granddad, and you said about the Holocaust. Talk a little bit about that.
Both my families, both my grandparents are Holocaust survivors, grandmother being from Russia and my grandpa being from Poland. One of the surprising aspects about my grandfather was that he was married before, and we did not know this till like I was 12 years old. Supposedly, he thought the women and children would be okay, and he left his wife and child behind, and he ran to Russia, and he met my grandmother there, and then afterwards they moved to Australia, which is something. But yeah, it was quite a story. Like we just know that like something, it's just not a good thing that happened, and yeah, for me it was very sad to know that this happened to my family. When I was growing up, I was really scared that this would happen again, and especially last year seeing what's going on in the States, I was really afraid because growing up, I saw Nazi signs sometimes, and I was scared this was going to happen again. So yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, in the midst of COVID-19, talk a little bit about, Nikki, how COVID-19 has affected you and your family, and let me know if you lost some close loved ones or friends in the midst of COVID-19. Talk about that for a minute, Nikki.
Well, Sweden has been believing in mask-free, so which I don't really agree with because people are not wearing their masks, and that's something that I don't agree with. But they believe in herd immunity, and my family's in Canada, so luckily my parents are in Canada and keeping safe, which I was really worried about because both my parents have health conditions. But with COVID-19, I knew several friends who caught it, and several friends who just don't care. They just are like, well, whatever happens, happens. Even my boyfriend's dad is like that. He's like, whatever happened, he caught it twice, and for him, it's just like, nope, no big deal. And with my friends, it's just like they're all still seeing each other. It's like life goes on, which is a very pessimistic attitude, I find, but it's killing a lot of old people. It's killing a lot of it's doing its damage on a lot of old people and migrants that are coming to Sweden, um, which is not good because it just spreads. And schools are still open. And I did know somebody who lost their lives to COVID in England, but and somebody who was in the ER with COVID related problems in Sweden, actually. Excuse me. But luckily, like it hasn't done too much damage, but it's very sad for me to see that people don't really care about it in Sweden.
Yeah, that's a sad thing. When you look at the world events happening today, we're in the nation's capital in Washington D.C. and I'm pretty sure you saw what happened at the Capitol. You know, um, when you see that, even being in Canada, Sweden, where your family is, how did you feel when you saw what happened at the Capitol, in the nation's capital, Nikki?
I felt very sad, really, because it was just like I felt it was an attack on democracy because it was like some I thought Trump should have gotten impeached for this, like, and been never been able to run ever. Crazy, like conspiracy theorists that think that it's just like I find that the level of crazy is blowing up, and I wish more people would get actually mental health checks because I find that people are believing in these conspiracy theories, be looking into the mental health because we're going down a dangerous wormhole. I find.
Yeah, that's really sad. When I lived in the nation's capital and seeing what happened down in my city, my town, grew up here, been here all my life. It's heartbreaking to see this event take place in the nation's capital on democracy, and I'm glad we got this change that just needed. It's much needed change all over the world, and we even seeing some improvement already. Um, Nikki, what about the George Floyd situation?
Yeah,
Did were there a lot of people, um, you know, um, devastated in Canada and Sweden when they seen the George Floyd situation?
there was a protest actually, Black Lives Matter in Sweden, actually in Stockholm. I didn't due to me having asthma, being asthmatic, I couldn't go to the protest and being worried about COVID-19. But I did send petitions. But there was a lot of people walking in Black Lives Matter, and I think it's a horrible thing that happened. Like this shouldn't have happened. It's been happening way too long, and I think that like of course we should be outraged, and of course it affects the whole world. There was protests in England, there's protests in Sweden. I think there was a protest in Montreal, and that's where I'm originally from. And yeah, I've seen this affect the world globally. So I think it's a sad story, but I hope it'll bring about good changes.
Yeah, we definitely need that change today, Nicole. And I'm so happy again that you are on, the Pic TV network with reaching people around the world, and partnershiping with you and Sweden. It allows us to expand and do more things with the Pic TV network. We've been working together, me, Mr. Campbell, James Lee, my wife, and so many others to get to this day that we will be able to cross the waters from the length and breadth of this nation to reach people like you and to hear your story and to have you to help us spread the Pic TV network good news. So we're excited. Nikki, we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back after this. Everybody who's watching the Pic TV network, Pic TV network Spotlight is on right now. We have Nikki on. She is all the way from Canada and born and raised in Sweden. And we're so happy that she's on our network presentation today. We're going to be back in part 2 right after this.